During last video, we have seen the molecular orbital theory for polyatomic species or polyatomic molecules, or the steps involved in the molecular orbital theory applied to the polyatomic species. And at the end of that video, we discussed about the some labels or labeling of various orbitals. Now you know that in molecular orbital theory applied to the polyatomic molecule, there are 4 steps. Step 1 is identification of central atom and peripheral atom. In second step, the peripheral atom contribute atomic orbitals and there is a formation of group orbitals. In third step, there is a matching of the group orbitals with the suitable atomic orbitals of central atom. And in fourth step, the group orbitals combines with atomic orbitals of central atom on the basis of symmetry adapted linear combination principle, and there is a formation of molecular orbitals. So these are the 4 steps. Now here we are going to discuss first example of polyatomic molecule, beryllium dihydride, formation of beryllium dihydride on the basis of molecular orbital theory. This beryllium dihydride, it is a triatomic linear molecule, and beryllium, it is considered as a central atom and hydrogen as a peripheral atom. So there are altogether there are 3 atoms, 2 hydrogens and 1 beryllium. The electronic configuration of hydrogen is 1s1, and that for beryllium its atomic number is 4 and the configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. In outermost shell there are 2 electrons. In outermost shell of hydrogen there is a 1 electron, and these electrons present in valence shell involve in the process of bond formation. You also know that hydrogen is more electronegative than beryllium. Electronegativity of hydrogen is 2 and that of beryllium is 1.5. Hydrogen is more electronegative than beryllium. Beryllium, it is a central atom and 2 hydrogen atoms are the peripheral atoms. And already I told you, beryllium dihydride, it is a triatomic linear molecule. 2 hydrogen atoms attached to beryllium, these are labeled as 1 and 2. Hydrogen 1 and hydrogen 2. Now already central atom and peripheral atoms are selected. Then next step is formation of group orbitals from peripheral atoms. You know, hydrogen, 2 hydrogen atoms are the peripheral atoms, and on the basis of linear combination of atomic orbital principle, 2 1s atomic orbitals of peripheral 2 hydrogen atoms combine to form 2 group orbitals. For example, you consider the internuclear axis. Normally it is a z axis. This is the internuclear axis. There are 2 hydrogens. Now hydrogen 1 contributes 1s atomic orbital with positive sign wave function, and therefore it is psi 1s. It has a positive sign, positive psi 1s. Now hydrogen 2 or second hydrogen also contributes 1s atomic orbital. It has a positive sign wave function, and therefore it is also plus psi 1s. So psi 1s plus psi 1s. So this is a addition combination, and it is also called as in phase combination. So in phase combination between 1s orbital of one hydrogen with 1s orbital of another hydrogen having same signs of wave function, this is called as in phase combination, and it results in the formation of bonding molecular orbital. And you know, there is a overlapping takes place along the internuclear axis. Lobes are oriented along the internuclear axis. So this is the bonding orbital, group orbital. This is the bonding group orbital, and it is labeled as psi 1. Its name is sigma g. Now sigma, already I told you why sigma label is used. When this orbital, group orbital, is rotated along the internuclear axis, there is no change in signs of lobes. Positive, positive, it remain their positions remain the same. When this orbital rotated along the internuclear axis through suppose 120 degree, 180 degree, or any angle, then position of positive lobes will remain the same. There is no change in sign of wave functions of lobes, and therefore sigma. And what is g? G, it is a Girard. This group orbital, it has a center of inversion. Two lobes, when inverted, we get the same type of group orbital, and therefore this is the Girard. Girard indicates orbital having the center of inversion or center of symmetry. So this is the group orbital, and it is labeled as psi 1. Now again you consider internuclear axis. Now hydrogen contributes 1s atomic orbital with positive sine wave function. It is psi 1s. It combines with other hydrogen, atomic orbital of other hydrogen, that is 1s orbital. But now this 1s atomic orbital having negative sine wave function, and therefore this combination is psi 1s, that is plus psi 1s minus psi 1s, because other atomic orbital, second atomic orbital, has negative sine wave function. Each and every atomic orbital have two signs of wave function, positive and negative sine wave functions. First time in first combination, in phase combination, second hydrogen atom contributes 1s atomic orbital with positive sine wave function. Now second time, second hydrogen atom contributes atomic orbital with negative sine wave function. So this combination, it is represented as psi 1s minus psi 1s, and this is out of phase combination. So combination between atomic orbitals with opposite sine wave function, it is called as out of phase combination, and it results in the formation of other group orbital. This is psi 2 group orbital, and it is labeled as sigma u. Why sigma? Because when this orbital is rotated along the internuclear axis, the signs of wave functions of these two lobes will not interchange. Their positions will remain the same. When this orbital is rotated along this internuclear axis, negative lobe and positive lobe, they will not exchange, and therefore this is sigma. And U stands for un-Girard. It means this orbital, group orbital, does not have center of inversion. Now when you imagine the center of this orbital, and when you exchange the lobes, these two lobes, now negative lobe will come to the left side and positive lobe will shift to the right side, and therefore there is no center of symmetry. On the other hand, first group orbital, that is psi 1 group orbital, it has a center of symmetry, and therefore this is Girard. And this psi 2 group orbital does not have center of inversion, and therefore this is un-Girard. So psi 1 group orbital, it is labeled as sigma g, and psi 2 group orbital labeled as sigma u. So in this way, by the combination between two 1s atomic orbitals of two hydrogen atoms, peripheral hydrogen atoms, there is a formation of two group orbitals, psi 1 and psi 2. Now next step is matching of atomic orbitals of beryllium with group orbitals. Now you know that at beryllium, in outermost shell or in valence shell, there are two types of orbitals, 2s and 2p. There are 3p orbitals, px, py and pz. Out of these four orbitals, that is 2s, 2px, 2py and 2pz, some atomic orbitals match with the group orbitals formed by peripheral atoms. Now we are going to discuss here, or we are going to see which atomic orbitals of beryllium out of 4 match with the group orbitals. So on the basis of symmetry adopted linear combinations, the group orbitals psi1 and psi2 with the matching atomic orbitals of beryllium are, now suppose beryllium is having 2s atomic orbital, it is spherically symmetrical, the dotted line indicates the internuclear axis, and 2s atomic orbital is a spherically symmetrical and it has a positive sine wave function. Now corresponding matching group orbitals are, there are two group orbitals, one is psi1, other is psi2, and this is the psi1 group orbital. Here there are two positive lobes oriented along the internuclear axis, and when 2s atomic orbital try to overlap with psi1 group orbital, overlapping is possible along the internuclear axis and their wave functions are also same, and therefore this is the matching group orbital. So this 2s atomic orbital of beryllium match with psi1 group orbital and it is sigma Girard. Now consider another atomic orbital of beryllium, that is 2pz. In case of 2pz orbital, two lobes oriented along the internuclear axis, that is z axis, one lobe is positive, other lobe is negative, and this 2pz atomic orbital of beryllium match with psi2 group orbital formed by peripheral hydrogen atoms, and this is the psi2 group orbital. It is sigma u. There are two lobes, one is positive, other is negative, and again between 2pz atomic orbital of beryllium and psi2 group orbital of peripheral atoms, axial overlapping is possible. This positive lobe can overlap with this positive lobe. These two orbitals are oriented along the internuclear axis and therefore these two orbitals match with each other. Now consider the third atomic orbital of beryllium, that is 2px orbital. In 2px orbital, two lobes are oriented above and below the internuclear axis. Positive lobe, it is oriented above the axis, and negative lobe oriented below the internuclear axis. Now there is no any group orbital match with this 2px atomic orbital of beryllium. Only there are two group orbitals, one is psi1, other is psi2. So there is no any matching group orbitals available in this molecule. And fourth orbital available at beryllium, it is 2py atomic orbital. In 2py atomic orbital, again lobes are oriented above and below the internuclear axis, and here there is no any matching group orbital available in the molecule. So summary of this point is, in beryllium there are 4 atomic orbitals, 2s, 2px, 2py and 2pz. There are 2 group orbitals, psi1 and psi2. Out of various atomic orbitals of beryllium, 2s atomic orbital match with psi1 group orbital and 2pz atomic orbital of beryllium match with psi2 group orbital. And by combination, next step is combination of atomic orbitals of beryllium with group orbitals. Now beryllium contributes 2s and 2pz atomic orbitals towards the formation of bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbitals, whereas 2px and 2py atomic orbitals of beryllium remain as a non-bonding.